Hi, in this tutorial I will explain how to do the potato sack. That's in the image you see on the right top corner. For this pose we need three pieces of fabric, and by the way this baby is pretty big, 4.5 kilograms. I prefer usually to do this pose with a smaller baby, around 2.5 3.5 kilograms. With the bigger babies it's a little bit harder because the weight of the baby, the weight of the head, and it's not that comfortable, but we can try and it will work. First of all, I grabbed a piece of first piece of fabric. It's approximately 35-40 centimeters wide and probably 1.5 meter long. It's pretty stretchy, and don't use warm wraps or thick wraps for the inner layers. It should be very light, because the only job this wrap will do is support the baby's hands and the body. First you need to do is put the hands, the fingers, across on top of each other and make sure they are under the chin of the baby and not on the chest. They should be right under the chin. It's gonna be probably hard because this baby is not asleep, she's pretty wide awake, she has colics, but make sure the baby's fingers not going over each other, kind of like clamp each other, because it's gonna look not really cool. It's gonna look like a beard fingers or something. I usually keep them around somewhere on the cheek. I swing baby's head on the right and left side and keep them right here somewhere near their chin, and I wrap the hands. Do not wrap too tight because you want to make sure baby has a good airflow. If you hear the baby making a noise like a creaking, like this noise, I don't know how to explain, that means you interrupt with the airflow. Don't do that. And right now the second wrap, which is like similar to the first one, it's very soft, stretchy and thin. I will wrap the feet. I will include the feet. You're gonna go just around the baby's neck with one side and just go around the elbows, go on the back, and just wrap around and include, and this time include the feet. This baby is really fussy. She has a really big, really bad colics, and especially she just had a full bottle. I'll try to comfort as much as I can, give it the time, don't rush into anything, and I really keep my eye on hands. I don't want them to be too much exposed or being hidden too much. And slowly I wrap the second wrap, and it goes just around the baby, and this wrap will help me to support baby's head. All you need, just like I said, do not make it way too tight. Make sure baby has enough air to breathe and not uncomfortable in the wrap. Also make sure in the room where you're shooting you drop the temperature, because usually we shoot with a temperature around 26 up to 28 degrees. I usually open my studio door and make sure the temperature is around 23 degrees, and because I want to make sure the baby is not overheating in so many wraps. I keep the baby feet very close to the body, and make sure it's no gap between feet and elbows. Just kind of try to bring it closer to each other. This, when you're done wrapping and you want to place the potato sack on the beanbag, if you want to pose a vertical, the baby not going to collapse. It's going to be very stable, very good, and baby's going to be very safe in it. And this is how you do it. Just keep eye on that. I try to comfort baby. Yeah, and make sure about the keep an eye on temperature in the studio. I think this is one of the most important things where you're shooting any wrap photos or when baby's outfits or when they were in hats, socks, anything, because 28 to 29, it's unfortunately it's way too hot. I usually do this towards the end of my session because I don't want to reheat my studio later on. Therefore, I'm using potato sack later in my session, and I can photograph in this position with parents, with siblings if I want to, and the parents going to be more comfortable in 24 degrees than 28. And this is a third wrap, which is with this baby. She's pretty big. Sometimes with baby, if babies are 3.5 kilograms, 2 wraps will be enough to support. But like I said, this baby 4.5 kilograms, I need way more support, and I want to make sure baby is very, very secure in the wraps. And if you think you can wrap the baby who's completely awake and do it good, I think it's not right. If babies are fussy, only not sleepy enough, it's gonna be really hard. You will end up with a kind of cricket or not a really pretty looking potato sack. It's taken lots of experience, and I would say if you don't know how to do this or you're not feeling comfortable, I highly recommend it not to do that. This takes lots of experience. And this wrap is not the last layer, it's not the pretty wrap, it's still, but this wrap I used to kind of shape the potato sack. This is the last wrap when I want to make sure it is pretty. I know some photographers use like they patting the potato sack, they put some extra fabric in there. I'm not doing that. I'm pretty comfortable with just using 3 wraps, which is completely enough. So you see right now the fingers and hands of the baby right under the chin, and there are support in her head, and you see when they support and they kind of lifting the head up and her head looking up, not down. This while when I'm shooting from the top down, and all the potato sack looks so good, and the bottom part look rounded, and it's all looks very pretty. But you have to look for that look when you're wrapping the baby. Make sure the hands right under the chin and the head pointing up. And if you didn't put enough fabric around the baby's neck on the back, it's going to be not enough support, and you'll find out the baby's head will falling down on the back, like falling backwards, which is not what we're looking for. Make sure you wrap enough fabric around baby's neck and it's enough support to do this pose. And the last layer, finally, I use cheesecloth. I love it absolutely. It's very fine and it's very stretchy. Not like stretchy like a fabric, but it's really nice and easy to create that perfect look. You can wrap in any way. Personally, I like when it just go around, but it's totally personal preference. And to make the wrap look pretty, you're probably gonna need at least 3 meters long. The fabric should be at least 3 meters long, and you just wrap this fabric around the baby and make sure it's shaped very nice. You're looking for not much fabric on the top and more on the bottom. Therefore, your potato sack will look very cute and very nice. Do not rush through it. Do not roll the fabric around, like just layer it perfectly. Make sure every single layer looks beautiful. And as you see, the baby finally fallen asleep. That takes some time, considering I cut off some pieces of this video when I was trying to calm the baby down. She had hiccups, she was crying, she had tummy aches, but finally she settled down. And that's it. As you see, it looks so pretty. She's still awake, which is really cute. I do photographs sometimes awake babies if they are not crying and I see they're comfortable. They need to be comfort, and she's really good right now. She's not crying. She finally settled. I'm just finishing the last layer, and that's it. This is all about wrapping for the potato sack, and in the next videos, I will totally post the next video about how you shoot the baby, how to photograph this kind of pose. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. I'll try to answer. And I hope you enjoy this video, and see you soon.